What is up, guys? North Digital Assets coming at you with another video. In this video, we're going to cover Bitcoin, and I'm going to cover why it is not a bear market yet, and that is a premature call. So we're going to cover that in this video. Also, we're going to hit the Bitcoin chart. Follow me on Twitter if you have Twitter, North Digital Assets. Click subscribe down here in the bottom right hand corner. If you can see my logo, click my logo. Subscribe to the channel if you are in crypto to make 7 figures. Regardless of how long it takes, you are here to do your best, make 7 figures in crypto. If that sounds interesting to you, click subscribe down here in the bottom right hand corner, or click subscribe below like normal. Subscribe to my channel, and let us dive into the Bitcoin chart. I'm going to explain this rather simply. So here's the Bitcoin chart. Why are we not in a bear market to me, and why we are still in a bull market? We are in a corrective phase of a bull market. Why? I'll show you right here, right now. It's going to be pretty simple. So if we zoom in here so that we can get a closer look, if we look at the last low, and these lows through here are all through September, that September dump. If we look at these candle bodies through here, if I just drop a line on these candle bodies here, on these two candle bodies and on these two candle bodies, and then there's a couple wicks on it, okay? That is the low. That line I just dropped in there, 40,768. That is the previous low, 40,768. So to go into a bear market, you need to start creating lower lows and lower highs, which has not happened yet. And in my opinion, we are in a corrective phase of a bull market to find support on that previous lower low, find support in that next range, and start to gear up and get some momentum to start to move on towards that next bull run that we've been waiting for, okay? And if you look through here at this line, there's really no candle bodies even on the line right now. We obviously did not lose this low. We have not created a lower low, and we have not created a lower high because we haven't come back up and created that lower high and gotten rejected. So what it would look like for me, that I would call it that we're heading into a bear market, is you lose this line, you come down here somewhere, you go to come back up, you fail, and then you roll. You created a lower low because it is lower than this one here. As you can see, if I take a trend line, obviously, you've created a lower low, and then you have this high here that you created where you were rejected. You didn't go any higher. And here's your previous high, and that was that 69,000, and there. Okay, so you would be creating a lower low and a lower high for Bitcoin, get rejected, and that is when you could go down to 28,000, 20,000, what have you. No one knows. 28,000 would be rather likely to me, and I don't know about 20,000, but 28,000, 29,000, that previous area. But I am laying out what could happen. That is possible. It's not impossible. Anything's possible. But right now, I believe that we are in a corrective phase. We are in something maybe like an A, B, C here. An ABC correction. You find support, you don't lose the low, and you start to gear up. And it wouldn't just be straight back up to 69,000 like that. Okay? It would look more something like this. And you would start to move up in waveforms. This happens in waveforms. So my point is, until you actually lose the low, and you're actually closing down here on some days down in this range, you haven't created a lower low yet. So any of these bear market calls on Twitter or wherever else on other YouTube channels are premature and just not true. We are at 41,773 right now. We have not created a lower low. We are finding support on this area. Not to mention, the other important thing that I will point out is like I've shown before, is this is the same pattern from my previous videos where you had this, and this is going to be rough because I'm just going to drop this in here real quick because I didn't already have it, but you had these falling wedge patterns here. So falling wedge pattern here, okay? And yeah, this is a little rough, but yes, where you rolled, you bounced around in here, you came out of the way, out of this falling wedge once, you come back into this channel, you're bouncing again until you bottom out here at the bottom of in between these wicks here. And so that was the support. And then you went up in waveforms, okay? Same pattern right now. You're bouncing in this channel, you come out of it once, you come back into the channel, you're below it, depending on where I set it. Sure, I could you can kind of mess with these lines a little bit and tweak them a little bit. Yeah, maybe we're below that wedge a little bit, but at the same time, we are on that support line, and that support line is the previous lows, and I showed you that when we were just zoomed in. We haven't lost it. There might be one wick that's a little lower than that line. It shot right back up. It was like a liquidation event. All the people that were leveraging it one way or the other, a lot of them longs that would have gotten, you know, liquidated. But anyways, my point is we've done this pattern before, and it's right here, and then we came up out of it and went on. This was a corrective phase in the bull market, okay? And this was after April and May's highs of 64,000, and that was when we rolled through here. And this in this circle was the corrective wave in the bull market. And I believe that what we are doing right now is the same thing. And even if it was going to be a bear market right now, because we haven't lost that lower, we haven't created lower lows, we're not down here and lost that support even, it's just a premature call, and it's just not true right now. Okay, so that's why I'm not calling that. Okay, so that is sort of my thesis on what is going on right now. So one thing that is interesting that we could have happen, I really want to do this. I want to do the bars pattern, okay? This is going to be really interesting because you roll here, you come back up, you roll again, and now you're kind of here, okay? Because you have this wick, and you have this here, okay? See the two circles. So you're kind of right here, okay? So what I want to do is I want to copy this pattern and drop it in. This is going to be interesting here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the bars tool, and we're going to start, let's start roughly right here in between these wicks and take it out to here, okay? Copied the pattern, okay? So, like I said, where we're at now could possibly be right here. It's that same pattern. You rolled, you're bouncing in the channel, you come above the channel, you fall back into the channel, and you hit this support line where this wick is roughly, okay? Same thing, that's where you're at, okay? So anyways, I want to take this bars pattern and move it, okay? And set it over here. And this is where it gets interesting, okay? So, take a look here. If I set this, because that's a wick, if I set this roughly in here, what could happen if this pattern repeats again? What happens is, this could be possibly a little bit higher, but since these could be wicks anyways, yeah, you're below that line, but they're wicks, and you shoot back up, and your candle bodies are right on the line. So I like it sitting right about there. So let's set that in. And this is speculative and hypothetical. But if that pattern, something like that pattern repeats, okay, what would happen is you would where we're at now, you'll come up again into this 46,000 range, get rejected, come back to the support line, and that would be around roughly the start of February, and then we would start moving again. If this played out, this pattern, this exact pattern where I've set it, and yes, I could tweak it a little bit, so this is a little rough, but May, 90,000, let's see here, May, 90,000 Bitcoin there, 89,648. But yes, it is possible. Anyways, my point is that we are doing that same pattern. We have rolled. We do that same pattern that I just explained out. A corrective phase in a bull market. A corrective phase in a bull market. We're finding support on this line right now, and it's been, 40,500, 41,500, 40, 41, 40, 41, 40, 41. We've been finding support on that area, just like it did through here, just like it did for a while here. This time frame here, what? This time frame is 64 days, okay? So it takes some time. It takes some time. For example, if we look at this here, what we've been doing so far in this pattern, we're about 30 days, okay, that's 35 days into it. So we might, maybe it's only half done and it needs to come up and it needs to go all the way through February. It needs to be all the way through February to make this pattern, to come up and then come through here. So I know I had a video where it'd be the start of January or early January at some point, but if we can't lift off from right here and start getting some momentum, then possibly it needs to go up to that 46 area, because remember, it was 46, 49, 46, 49, $46,000, $49,000, back and forth for a while. So do we come up to get a bounce, get rejected around 46,000 or so in that area, get rejected at that 46 as resistance, roll back down, find support, and then we're ready to go. And if it played out exactly as last time, it would actually be the start of February roughly instead of the start of January. So either one's possible. Either we bottom out here sometime soon, or we have to do this extra hump to do that, okay? So just possibilities I'm kind of laying out for you. At any rate, I'm still bullish, and I've been showing you why. The other scenario we do not want is here's your shoulder, here's your head. If we do get this momentum and we make a bigger asymmetrical shoulder that's pretty symmetrical with this one over here, then that is a head and shoulders pattern, which is bad, and you would roll down. What we really want is that little rejection at 46, find that support and get the bounce like we did here. And get the bounce, okay? So that is sort of what we are looking for. It's not going to probably be the exact pattern where you get that bounce and then you flow through here the exact way, but it's roughly if history repeats somewhat and if that pattern plays out again, and it really could. I believe we are in a corrective phase of the bull market the same way we were from May through July here, and this is another one of them, and we currently have not created any lower lows yet on Bitcoin. We do not have lower lows and we do not have lower highs. You need those to call a bear market to say it is now on a bear market. Bitcoin is bearish. I think that is in a macro view overall, looking at where Bitcoin's going in 2022 and what is going on with the crypto market. As a macro view, I believe that no, it is not an overall macro bear market. Yes, it has rolled from 69,000 all the way down to where we are at now. I know that, but that's really short term. This isn't very macro. So that's my take on that. And I will show you now one other thing from TechDev on Twitter that kind of lines up with what I'm saying here. And here is halving cycle 1, halving cycle 2, and halving cycle 3. You can see where we're at now. We are in this red box here, and it goes green, red, green, red, green, yellow. Green, red, green, red, green, yellow, green, red, and green would be next. When we find the support in this red box, at some point we find that support. We go through, we have that top, that blow off top moment for Bitcoin. Bitcoin shoots up in this green box, and then you have yellow where it is bear market. Here's the top, bear market capitulates down, and we start the thing all over again. But we have not had this fulfilled yet, and I believe we will. And that is the same thing right here. If we do that pattern where I just copied that bars pattern with the blue, if it bottoms out here sometime soon, gets some momentum to the upside, we come into this green box, boom, towards the top, anywhere between $100,000 and $250,000 Bitcoin. I'm going over 100. I've covered that in other previous videos, so I'll leave that for my other videos if you want to go watch them. My predictions and anything I've thought about the market hasn't changed. Price predictions haven't changed on any coins because of what they're based off of. Timeline and timetables have, but I'm not really trying to predict time too much on this channel. I know I just said February, early February, and I've said early January. I'm not really trying to predict time on this channel. It's already, the price predictions are based off Fibonacci's, and they're already very hard to do. You're trying to predict, the future. No one has a crystal ball. But price predictions are based off Fibonacci's, and the time predictions are just that's just something you can't combine both of those and try to predict this price at this time, etc. That's just, I'm not really trying to do that on this channel. So these are just those. That's just some hypothetical scenarios that could play out, though. So yes, they could be wrong. Everyone's going to be wrong. You can be right. You're going to be right sometimes. You're going to be wrong sometimes. That's how it is. But anyways, just giving you an overall look and why I think the market is still bullish. Anyways, that is going to be it for this video, guys, on Bitcoin and how it ties into the entire crypto market. Click subscribe down here in the bottom right-hand corner if you can see my logo. Click my logo, click subscribe, or click subscribe below like normal. Smash up the like button, please. Thank you to all the subscribers that have been sticking around on the channel and still watching the videos. And if you made it this far in the video, put a 1 or a 2 or something. Put a number down below, and I'll have to at least thank you in the comment section for sticking through my video, watching, and still being on the channel, even though everyone's going bearish. And I don't believe that we are. I know that Tech Dev and some of these other channels aren't, but leave a 1 below, and I'll leave a comment. I'll put a comment in there. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video. See ya.